Hey guys, Kenneth here. Remember my book? Well, anyway, I talk about 4 ways to make money in real estate. Number 1 is cash flow. That's basically income over expenses. And in Toronto, I can imagine that the rental income barely covers your expenses. So unless you have a significant down payment or you bought a long time ago, that probably isn't gonna happen. What we have been banking on is number 2, appreciation, price appreciation. So that's basically the property value going up. And with $400 billion being printed into the Canadian economy, I don't see where else that money's gonna flow. It's gonna flow into assets, and that's why we see asset inflation. Even though CPI doesn't measure the cost of the asset itself, it only measures what it costs to service that debt. So it's completely out of whack. So prices are gonna continue to go up, and I think we're gonna continue to see asset inflation, and we're gonna see appreciation. But number 3 is tax benefits. So basically, if you sell your primary residence, it's completely tax-free, which is amazing. You don't get that anywhere else. If you sell an investment property, 50% of that gain is taxable, which is really impressive. If you think about it, your job, you'll get taxed on 100% of the income that you make. Imagine you only got taxed on half of that, which is pretty cool. The surefire way to make money, number 4, is the debt pay down. So if you have a mortgage for 25 years, just think about it. In 25 years, the thing will be completely paid off, or should be. Maybe you accelerate your payments, maybe you pay it off in 15 years, maybe you stretch it out and pay it off in 30 years. But at the end of the day, you'll have it completely paid off. Real estate is always a wonderful way to make money, and I encourage everybody to do it. But I read this article this morning, and it basically said, in a hot housing market, we need to check our smugness about owning versus renting. I do talk a lot about buying real estate and owning real estate and holding on to real estate as much as possible, but I gotta be conscious to those people that can't afford to do that. And it's a reality that some of these people will be renting forever, and there's no option to even buy something. And we see this in larger cities such as Hong Kong, New York, San Fran, Paris, London, so on and so forth. A lot of people are renting for the rest of their lives. It's just part of their vocabulary. I mean, forget about renting, roommates are part of their vocabulary. There's nothing wrong with that, let me tell you that. As long as you're able to save your money and continue to work hard, make more money in your job, and somehow just net more money at home so you could save your down payment to buy a property, then all is not failed, you'll be able to get ahead. And if you don't have it and you don't do it, there's nothing wrong with renting. You have the flexibility to move. You always have options. It's not the end of the world, we'll still survive. So obviously, it'd be nice to get ahead and buy property. The best thing to do is to save your down payment. I know it's hard. 10% down of the average price of a downtown condo at $727,000 is $72,000, $73,000. And if you factor in the CMHC penalties, so I'm saying 10% down, if you factor in the CMHC fees, plus land transfer taxes and all that, you're in it for 100 grand. So you'll need to have 100 grand down. There's other options to buy condos downtown. You can buy things pre-construction. If you know that in 4 years, you'll have a way to save up that money and close on it in 4 years, and your job situation might change, maybe that's an option. To buy a detached home though, to start from scratch, that's gonna be a little bit difficult. I mean, the average price of a Toronto detached home right now is $1.6 million as of February, and it's going up by the minute because we're seeing bidding wars in all sorts of housing types, in freehold, detached, condos, suburbs, in the city. It's not that it's not attainable, it certainly is. You just gotta get your foot in the door and just do it. Because look, investing is gonna be really hard, or not investing, I should say, buying a house, no matter what, whether it's a principal residence or if it's an investment, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna take a lot of sacrifice. That sacrifice is hard. Trust me, I've done it before and I know it's harder even now. So, I mean, at the end of the day, you gotta pick your hard. Not having money is hard, and saving up for that money is hard as well too. So another thing I should say is that with the amount of money printing of the $400 billion that have been printed and more during this pandemic, I don't think interest rates are going to be able to be raised at any time soon. The government has to service their debt. They have to keep the rates low so they continue to service their debt and print the money to service that debt. If their interest rates are higher, how are they going to pay that back? But anytime that the government keeps interest rates low and manipulates the market, prints more money, there's going to be an effect. And that effect is going to the asset market. So if you can, please find a way to buy. If not, if you're gonna be renting for the rest of your life and you know that it's your fact, well, just make sure you save money and save for retirement and other avenues. If you're ever confused and you have any questions, please give us a shout. I want to talk to you more about real estate. There's other ways to invest in real estate. It doesn't have to be owning property itself. I mean, you could buy it with other partners if you really need to. You can buy it with family members, or you can buy into a real estate investment trust, a REIT. You can buy into a fund. There's so many different ways. You can private lend if you want to. There's so many different ways to get into the real estate market just without owning property itself. So again, if you have any questions, give us a shout. We're here to answer your questions, and I guess we'll talk to you next time.